Alright, so now we've got all the bandpass filters and low pass filters in. I'm really happy with how all these toroids came out. It took me a couple hours to get them all wound, but I used, of course, the paintbrush trick, which you've probably seen by now. They're all nice and tight. A lot of the windings are all very even. So we'll see if that makes any difference. Hopefully it works once I plug it all in. But now we're going to do the TRIFILAR transformer. So what we need is 3 20-centimeter lengths of our enameled wire here. This has gotten all jumbled up on me, so I'm carefully unspooling it because, like I said before, you do not want to get this stuff kinked up. Once you get a little kink in it, it will not come back out. Alright, so we need 3 20-centimeter lengths here. And one thing that Hans says in these instructions is cut them to length. Don't add any extra. He's got everything calculated. If you add any extra, then you won't have enough wire. So far we've gotten all of our toroids done except for this one, and there's one more transformer for the SWR bridge. I think that should be all we need for this wire. So we're getting kind of close to the end of the spool here, or the end of the quantity of it. And I'm going to line up the ends of this stuff and chuck it into the drill. Well, glasses off because I cannot see. Okay, so he says we need about 60 twists in this length. Obviously, I didn't check it, didn't count it, but he also says it's not critical. So now we're just going to clip off the kind of unclean ends here, the untidy ends. Now we need our last toroid here, and we're going to wrap 10 wrap. Like all of the other toroids that we wrap for this, the way that he says to do it, I'm going to actually give myself a little more room on that, is so that your first wrap goes over the top. And again, I'm going to use my paintbrush if this works. It may not work because this wire is a lot thicker. I don't think we're going to get that in there this time. Well, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to help the beginning here anyway. Alright. So we're starting coming over the top. And we're going to go from underneath, back on top again. You want to keep these as tight as you can. First couple are a little harder because they want to kind of come off. So there's 2. Every time through the center, of course, is 1 turn. So there's 2 turns. Three turns. if you're going to be doing a kit like this, I will say that USB microscopes, very inexpensive these days. And you've possibly seen this one if you've seen some of my other build videos. It actually has a USB output that acts as a camera input to your PC, which I'm not going to bother with hooking up right now, but I'm just going to count these before I space them out, make sure that I have the right number of turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 turns. Alright. Ready? Now we're going to cut off, so we have about 2 centimeters. I think I have a little less than that, but I just cut them even. And now we're going to untwist these guys outside of the transformer. You don't want to untwist anything that's on the core, but we're going to need to get all 3 of these leads separately into the holes on the board. So there's Alright, so after a little bit of a whoopsie, when I was putting this in, or actually I hadn't even gotten that far, when I was bonding this, one of the conductors had gotten broken. Thankfully I had enough extra 0.3 millimeter wire from, I don't know, it was either a QMX or QCX that I built before. So I was able to recover, thankfully, but don't do that. Don't pull too hard, or be careful with the, I forgot actually to file the edges of this toroid, so it could have been kind of sharp. But what we're going to do basically is from top to bottom, A, B, and C, A, B, and C. So I've checked for continuity across the bottom, across the middle, and across the top. So then, if we orient our board, let's see, where is T401? Here's T401. So if we orient the board like this, it looks like A, B, and C go here. From right to left. Like I said earlier, this is the trickiest part of the whole kit, I think. Alright, so now they're all 6 in, and we're going to pull these through. However, before we solder them and make it really hard to come out, we're going to check the continuity again, that they're straight across. So we should have, this should be one, the middle one should be one, and the bottom one should be one. Once you get these soldered in, it's incredibly difficult to get back out. So now comes another difficult part. I'm going to bring my fume extractor up here, so sorry for the noise again, but we're going to do like we did before. Lots and lots of heat, lots and lots of patience. And what I'm going to do is cut one of these at a time. I want to leave the others so it kind of holds the guy in place here. Be careful when you do this, because around some of these parts there are surface mount components, so we don't want to touch those. Alright, now I'm just going to put the soldering iron on this pad and against the wire here. Set it and turn on the fume extractor. Alright, so once we got it flowing in the hole there, we're just going to hold this for a good 10 or 15 seconds. As we, of course, burned the enamel off the ends of the wire so we could check continuity. But where they go through the PCB, there's still enamel there, so we have to burn that away. And when I do these, I like to get a pretty decent little ball of solder on there. That helps to heat up and break up that enamel. So we're going to do something here. Alright, so now we're going to check continuity here. So you should have continuity between every pad, and let's see, where does it say this? IC 402. Of course, you can't see any of the reference designators. Ah, okay, so he's got, if we hold it this way, all right, so we've got continuity there. So after our little faux pas, which thankfully, again, I had some extra magnet wire, I was able to save this build, or I'd have to order some magnet wire. So now we're going to do our SWR bridge here, or the transformer for it. So we need two 25-centimeter lengths of wire here. And we need our binocular core here. And we're going to wire 10 turns through each side. I might need my scope here to see how many I've got. Alright, so we've got our two 10 turns through there. We want two 25mm, I think that's right, let's see, yeah, 25mm sections. Alright, so we need to scrape the ends off. Alright, I'm going to use the same method as I had done before, but these are really short, so I'm going to hold them here because they're going to get hot. Alright, so these just go right through the middle. It might be better just to do that after, I don't really know. Let's see, so we're gonna put these in here, and these go in the outside most holes. There are 4 holes on each side of this on the board. These go in the outermost ones. Okay, well maybe that wasn't the right path. Let's take this guy back out. And see if we can slide this in, bend it down. Alright. I don't think that's going to help us any either. Wish I would have done a QMX build video, because then I could refer to it and see how I did this the first time. I don't remember having this kind of trouble the first time. So now we're going to try to solder these in, even though I did not strip the ends like I was told to. So since we've been successful with all the rest of these, hopefully this one won't be any more difficult. Alright, let's try to see if we have continuity here. It looks like we don't on any of them. Well, one of them we did, but alright, I think we got it that time. Actually, we're going to need to solder one more thing here. Alright. Now we need to take one of our cut-off capacitor leads that we saved. And he's going to go in the, so if we hold our board like this, he's going to go in the middle slot on JP501 here. And so we're going to insert this on top side and then solder it on the bottom side. Alright, and those two transformers wore me out, so I think I'm going to take a break and come back tomorrow for all the fun stuff. So see you then.